right, the 2020 Panther 90's class reunion is about to start, so I'm just going to start this whole thing now. Hopefully, others will join. So, just waiting on everybody else. Oh, sup. Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
What do you? I heard you said you were watching football and.
Yeah, we're out here watching. Hey, Gabe, you want to say hi to Ricky and Dante? They're the only ones on right now. You want to say hey to Dante and Ricky real quick before anybody jumps on?
You better say hi.
Gabe, what are you doing?
Did you hear Dante? He said, "Hey, what are you doing?" It's just him and Ricky. They said you better say hi.
I didn't say it. Ricky did.
Yeah, we're laying late. Yeah, it's so nice outside right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna get cooler the next couple weeks, so taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, you too. They said you
been a
better
while.
after everybody jumps on.
Hey,
What's up, man?
how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
Nice.
You guys look great.
Ricky's in Tennessee.
Oh, you're in Tennessee, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm in Gatlinburg. Ooh, I got something. Check this out.
I'm in Fort Walton right now, so yeah.
Okay, all right.
What is that? Smoky?
Root beer whiskey.
Root beer whiskey,
Yeah,
right?
Gabe's not thinking alcohol after his excursion yesterday.
Yesterday was bad, man.
He,
Puke and rally, bro. Puke and rally.
Speaking of that, do you remember the that moment where we were all just, it was raining at one point, and we were all just standing there, and all of a sudden Donald Thomas just goes flying down the hill. I look at Ricky. I'm looking down. I was like, what's going on down there? And it's like, oh, everybody's doing it. And then it's all. I look at Ricky. I look in his eyes, and I was like, uh-oh. And he just looks at me and goes like, and just goes and it slides down.
That's when we made the big slip and slide, Jael, and all of them got in big trouble for that.
Yeah, hopefully Beverly will come on, because he said that she was the one to make that idea up.
I don't doubt that.
So
I do remember it. I remember a lot of people getting in trouble for it.
Yeah, I know when
I had to get to my car down there.
Yeah, when school was over, I saw Donald getting out of his car, got out of the car and said, well, I'm going to see.
That went down to the gym like a
I'm gonna go check. I'm gonna go talk to the principal about this.
That's cool.
Oh, Gabe, it was hilarious, Gabe.
Yeah, I think John's gonna try to jump on tonight. He said he was gonna try to.
I know Shayla Nett messaged me saying she can't do it because I guess she can't do it because her whole family's in COVID right now. She's recovering from COVID.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
That's not fun.
I know I tagged everybody that I could to try to jump in. Antoinette, Bianca, everybody else that tried to. So try to get a big class. Oh, there it is.
Classic.
There it is.
That was flower power.
I definitely have an antique tag on it right about now.
No, it's dead. His mom said
Oh,
it's dead.
yeah.
It died right after we sold it. For $200.
Nice. Well spent.
Tanae and I went 64 in that once.
Whoa.
Yeah, and the
Turned
rust
around and started picking up pieces on the way back.
Yeah. So.
Well, it was good seeing you guys. I won't hold you up on your reunion.
All right.
I'm glad everything's doing well, man. We'll keep in touch.
Keep in touch, man.
All right, man.
All right, brother. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.
Today, what do you remember most about your time at Roosey?
Oh man, what do I remember most? I don't know. I just remember having a lot of fun. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. There's not really one. I mean, I remember hanging out with John Platt and Charles Morrow and all of them and going to the movies. I remember being with Ricky. I mean, most of my memories stem from like incidents that we got into, like when Ricky and I got into he rolled backwards into somebody in the car.
We're going to the movie we thought was a horror flick.
Yeah.
And it turned out not to be.
It was in the station wagon.
Yeah, we're in the station wagon.
It was thick and it rolled backwards and we hit somebody and we drove off and they followed really fast. I remember being in the car, like John, Charles, Doug. We would camp out behind my house with the sleeping bags. What else? Oh, I remember some of the instances. Beverly, I remember her. We were playing at youth group one night at the chapel, and me and her were laying down hiding in the grass, and it was like dark, and all of a sudden she starts screaming and ripping her clothes off because she laid in a bed of fire ants.
Ooh, that's nice.
And we were all like stripping her down. Everybody in the youth, we were like taking her clothes off right there at the church. We were like smacking Dan Emerson. All of them, they were like, nobody cared, man. She had bumps all over her. She got tore up. You know, I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of good memories, carefree memories. I mean, some stress.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of, I mean, I got in trouble.
Yeah.
Usually when it was around Angel Flores.
Yeah.
My parents didn't care for him very much.
Yeah.
I also remember the times where Charles Morrow and his bright ideas of almost blowing up the the science, the chemistry. Yeah.
Yeah. He just said, "Uh-oh." Yeah. He said, "Uh-oh," and everybody said, "We're gone."
I remember a time Charles actually almost like ordered something online from the library, and he got in trouble for it from Miss White.
Ooh.
And I know we all used to just hang out for like some of us in Mr. Livingston's
the computer lab. I got a picture of me, Ricky, and Mike Mahoney.
Yeah.
Sitting there at the computer right when we first got instant messaging was a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. We talked to some guy in China.
I was there, and I said, just say konnichiwa, just say, go ahead and say konnichiwa or something like that.
Yeah.
That was fun. So
we talked to some guy in China, and we got to talk to him for like several days. His dad was some political dude, so he said. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, we all lied. We were like, yeah. He's like, you know, what do American girls look like? We're like blonde hair, blue eyes. We all lied. It was so bad.
Speaking of lying, remember when we got on the submarine?
You guys got on a submarine?
You remember that, Tania? You were like, let's go on that submarine. Let's try to get a tour of the submarine. And I'm like,
oh, is that when the dude pulled the gun out and was like, y'all have to leave? Was that one?
No, that's when we went up there and like the XO of the sub came and got us and we went in the sub. You said, you told him, tell them we're in marine biology, which we were.
Yes.
We said, tell them that we're learning about dolphins and sonar and shit. When I'm like, dude, we got a shell project or something.
Yeah, wasn't that for like honor society though, that we really did have to do something? And we were like, we made up.
Yeah, we made up something.
We made up something. Yeah, I do. I do remember that. I had forgotten about it though till you said that. I think it was John's dad though that got the gun pulled on him for one of the subs. They walked up on something else. That must have been something else. But yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember changing the letters on the movie theater to say really bad things.
Yep.
Did you remember the time when we all went to the mall off base? And I mentioned this story to Ricky, where we were all at the mall, and then Old San Juan or something like that, and then we were told to I think it was Miss Mejias, Miss Barreto, said that we should order in Spanish, but we were all at the mall just doing our own thing, and I ended up getting lost trying to figure my way out. And I ended up just walking past a security guard 3 times before I just said, all right, I'll just go ask him. And then he said, are we the class? I said, yeah. So I just escorted me out and to the bus, and everybody on the bus said, get your butt in here.
Was that at like the Plaza Carolina Mall or something? Yeah, I do vaguely remember that. And I remember our San Juan trip, the senior trip to San Juan where we got to drink.
Well, I didn't. So.
Oh, well, in the Bacardi factory, we did the tour of the Bacardi factory.
That's right.
And at the end, we got the little samples. Yep. And they even told us when we were on the bus, when we went into Old San Juan, that we were, just because we were allowed to drink out there, that we were not allowed to drink out there. We went and had like pizzas and burgers. You know, Ricky, you suck right now. Put that away. I have that picture too. I know it's terrible.
My mom took that.
At the times in Miss Costa's class where I accidentally walked into her class wearing a hat, and she took my hat for the rest of the semester or the rest of the school day until the school was over, and I had to get my. Yeah, I was, and ironically, I was wearing a Dallas Cowboys hat for some reason, and then I got it back. So, but it's still somewhere in my parents' house. So,
anybody ever know what happened to Miss Landry? I remember she got married after her 9th grade, but I don't remember what her new last name was.
No,
I never wondered whatever happened to her. She didn't like me at all. My dad came up over the desk at her at a conference. She told my dad I was belligerent. Ooh. And my mom said he like put his hands up on a desk and like leaned up over her, you know, like preacher on a pulpit, and was like, let me tell you something. She might be a lot of things, but she's not disrespectful and she's not belligerent, not to adults. And he was right, because I was scared to be in, you know, to get in trouble with that. But she was always calling my dad all the time. Even Donald Thomas one time like stood up for me in class because we were all talking. And I remember doing my work, and I knew my voice was loud, and I said something. And when I said something,
what'd she teach?
She taught pre-algebra. Y'all might have been ahead of that, because whenever I got there, I had not had pre-algebra in the school in Rhode Island where I was, so I had to take pre-algebra.
I remember when
real long hair, kind of, you know, very thin. And I remember the very first day I was there, I think I called her Miss Landry or Miss Laundry, because I thought it was Laundry. And she was just like, it's Landry. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And from there on out, we just never really got along very good.
I just got a notification that Beverly's about to join.
Woohoo!
So yeah, I also remember that cheer thing. That cheer thing we used to ride on, and then for some reason Eddie and some other guys started saying hard on.
I don't remember.
Well,
that doesn't surprise me. So. Eddie came over to the house. Gosh, it's been almost a year now. It was last October for my birthday.
Yeah.
He came over, and he's been going through a lot of stuff. You know, his mom passed away recently and stuff. But he's doing really good though. We keep up.
I know Beverly mentioned that Juan Barrios is now a surfer, and
oh yeah, he's got his own place there, and I think in Laquillo still. Yeah. I think he's got his own place, and
down in Laquillo.
Yeah, I think he's down there on the beach. Huh. You know, of course, we know Mr. Beam's up in Pensacola.
Oh, yep, seen him. At their reunion. So
he what? Oh yeah, I saw their post that they were. I didn't recognize anybody else that was with him though.
I think there was like the teachers and mostly 80 students or something like that.
Gotcha.
So, and like there was so many memories over there that during my time there, that I remember my first day there. I just walked into a class asking, "Are you Mr. Rashid?" And they said, "No, you're down there." So I was like, "Oh, sorry, my bad." So I walked in and I was like, "Huh, okay, this is new." And because I was like, I just got there from '94, and I basically didn't know. I was kind of scared because I was like, didn't know what was I going myself into. But then after a while, it was just I just got into the groove. What is he doing?
Cutting down the palm tree. I moved over. You're good. He's cutting down. We got a dead lemon. He's cutting it down.
Oh, okay.
If it comes like this, stop recording for a second or make beep beep beeps, because I'm gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll share this memory. When I was in class one time when Rashad Fulcher just got kicked out of class because we were doing a project, and he just like I said,
Oh, big black guy.
Rashad.
Yes, yeah.
He said that you're gonna do this for project, and he said, no, I'm not, and he just back talked the teacher and just left. Well, there's John.
He looks like
What's up, John? You look sad.
Not sad. This computer sucks sometimes.
What's up, man?
Saturday.
So we're just sharing our memories of Roosey. So
yeah, Ricky over there looks like he's the bouncer or something. He's gonna throw me out.
He is the bouncer.
I did bounce a little bit. Just to let you know.
You got the cross-arm scowl down to a T, man.
Are you still in touch with Charles Morrow, John? Or have you lost touch with him?
No, man. I haven't heard or spoke to him since high school, man.
He almost burned down Mr. Howell's chemistry class.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was there.
He was there when he pulled the chair out from under me, too, and I fell flat on my butt.
Yeah, and when he glued the little...
Oh, my gosh, the gram. The gram, yeah. The little kilogram, or Mr. Howell said, don't kilogram, the little gram square. He freaking epoxied it.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mr. Howell didn't get it off.
And he epoxied the chairs to the floor, or he tried to. That one didn't work very well.
Ordered stuff off the internet library. So
yeah, I also remember he kept trying to karate chop the table all the time because Tanea said if Charles ever broke the table, she'd kiss him.
Oh God, and I had to because he did.
And then because he hit it and the little trim piece broke off, and he had you. Oh man, he had you.
Yeah, and I had to kiss him, little peck, and he thought he was like, I thought he was gonna die, John. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was just Mr. Howell's class.
Yeah,
I remember Brandon Haney in Mr. White's class. And we were in science one time. So this was in 9th grade. It had to have been 9th grade because it was physical science. And I remember Mr. White was getting Izzy. He didn't stay there the whole 4 years, but he was in there and he wasn't listening. And Mr. White was like, hey, like so loud. And he wasn't a big guy. You here, not there. Listen. And he like starts pulling on his ears. And I will never forget Brandon like slapping and jumping up over the table, laughing so hard that everybody lost it. Mr. White lost his crap that day. It was so bad. And Izzy was being so disrespectful. But when he did that, I'll never forget him like pulling on his ear. My mom and I still talk about that because I laughed so hard. He was so mad. He had to walk out of the classroom that day. He was so mad. Bless his heart.
I know Mr. Mike Mahoney and or was it Matt, or I think it was Mike who made it his mission to basically drive Mrs. Mejias or Miss Barreto crazy during Spanish class.
That probably would have been Matt. Mike was a little, Matt was a little bit more
subdued Zen, or more Zen.
Yeah, that would have been.
I know, and then Mr. Rush's Enya inspired class where he's like,
yeah, listen,
sail away. It was calming in that class. So
yeah, and I played that when my son was born. That was like the music. I had that CD, and that's what we played in his nursery.
I told Mr. Rush that I enjoy Enya now because of him. So.
Yeah, and he's doing really good. You know, he's had a couple of health scares here and there, but he's doing good.
He's doing good. Mr. Washburn is doing good. So from what I hear, Mr. Washburn.
Oh, Washburn, yeah. Yeah, and Miss Costa, Miss Costa, they're doing good. Is
that Karina?
Uh-huh.
Karina?
Looks like
yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to figure.
Hey. Come on, join in on the fun. Join in on the memories. Or embarrassing ones.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta go get situated. That's why I had to put the camera on. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Good.
Where are you at right now?
I'm in my house in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah.
Way up north.
Yeah.
Is it cold up there yet? Or nice?
The temperature definitely has changed, but it still feels nice outside.
Nice.
Yeah. So at night, sometimes it'll drop into the 50s, but it's not too bad.
So
Yep.
we've been asking everybody, what's your fondest memory? What is your craziest, embarrassing memories of your time at Roosey? Or just share what you can remember.
My fondest memories. I would say, I stayed after school every day for sports or something. So I think I had, so I've had a lot of memories, just even outside of, all of the activities that we were doing, just that group that used to ride that school bus to Rio Grande every day at 6:00. We all became really tight, so I just remember just having a blast, staying after school, for our sports. But then I got those extra hours to just hang out with everyone.
That's nice.
Yeah, as far as embarrassing, I don't know.
Any sports related, like in volleyball or whatever?
Well, I ran cross country, played basketball, and track and field. I think I played volleyball 1 or 2 seasons, but that wasn't my main sport. I was more of a runner. But yeah, and then of course the little after school, clubs, sometimes a lot of times we met, during the daytime, but sometimes for a Spanish club or student government.
Yeah, I think we all remember those times where in the quad everybody was just like getting down and funky with themselves when Mr. Rashid started playing the drums and stuff like that, or the bongos or whatever the case may be. We always had fun in the quad area. I remember kicking Eddie, all of a sudden just getting the soccer ball and just kicking it across the outside of the school, and then all soccer players just looking at him. So any memories that involving the teachers that you can remember that are funny, or you try to share embarrassing moments?
Christmas, the Christmas thing stands out when we would do remember the classrooms were set up.
Mm-hmm.
Like one classroom had pina coladas, and then the other one, I forget what they called it, but where we would go classroom to classroom, and we have different foods. We have beans and I don't remember what it was, some kind of Christmas thing that we did, and I just remember thinking it was so cool. We got pina coladas at school. I mean, they were non-alcoholic, but it was still cool that we got them. I think that's where I learned how to make them, actually. They had the blender there, and we just literally went from classroom to classroom, but I forget what it was called now. But I do remember that it was at Christmas time.
Yeah. I do also remember that class murals or whatever. We had to make a class mural for our class. For the freshmen did theirs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Ours was a Panther, but then the seniors just started theirs and they didn't finish it at all. So, and just left it unfinished. That's what I remember.
I vaguely remember that.
You guys remember more than me. I must have drank those drank those brain cells off, because I don't remember any of that.
You remember riding around in your car though, playing big butts?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that I remember.
Playing as loud as we could, and me and Christina Bump, back dancing. Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
I remember messing up Julio's muffler, and it was after school. I think I was learning how to drive, and he went to drop me off where I drove myself to the bus stop, and somehow I reversed up the curve and busted his whole muffler off his car in front of everyone. But
it's I remember that.
But yeah, that was crazy. But I do remember my classmates in college, they were just impressed that during PE we would learn how to snorkel at the pool, and then on Fridays go to the beach and snorkel in the ocean.
Yeah.
So that was always like a because for me that was normal. We did that all the time.
Right.
But, not everyone experienced that.
In the manatee, when Honor Society, when we got to Moises,
Right.
we got to go out there and they were like, we had to wear pantyhose, and the guys were like, we're not wearing pantyhose, and then they're like, yes you will, and then they wore pantyhose because those little things were biting them or whatever.
Well, that reminds me about the opposite sex day.
I didn't know that shit.
Where all the girls dressed up as guys and the guys dressed up like girls. I remember I was like Mark Mahon dressed up, and then
Eric Ingram,
Jose.
they put the balloons and the
Yeah.
tight shorts. I think that's pictures in our yearbook of that.
Yeah. That was one of the most funniest moments I've ever witnessed when it comes to that. And then there's like other stuff going on during our time there that just were just memorable and funny. Spence trying to wrangle everybody, trying to keep watchful eye on everybody during this time there. Does anybody keep in touch with Julio or anybody else like that?
Julio, who? Which one?
Which one?
Huh?
And again,
I've spoken to him a few times throughout my adult life. The most recent was probably at least 5 years ago, maybe.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he's doing. He's got a kid. Because I'm Facebook friends with his brother. But I know he has so I think he has a kid, and I believe he's, the last time I spoke to him, he was working with his father. They own like a landscaping business of sorts. So I think he's still, I know he's originally from Naguabo. I don't know if he still lives in that area. I have no idea. But the last I spoke to him, he was working with his father on the family business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is Angel still doing search and rescue? Last time I talked to him, he was like in Guam. I think it's been a while, but I kept up with him for a little bit. But I got rid of a bunch of people that if I didn't keep up with them, like on a monthly basis, I just kind of got rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think he's still in search and rescue. At least that's what his profile on Facebook says. So he's on Facebook.
Right.
But it's been a while since I've actually had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
I know there's been little reunions here and there with everybody individually, like with Eddie and what was his name? The other guy that usually bike rides with him. That more Ben Campbell. They always are together. So
yeah, they've remained really close. They've remained really close. Him and Julio Munoz, they all remained really close.
I know the last reunion I went to was in Orlando. We got a picture of Mr. Howell. It was me, it was Jose Rodriguez, and
I saw Jose a couple months ago.
You did?
For his retirement party.
Jose Escola?
No, Rodriguez.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he owns a Puerto Rican restaurant in Virginia.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah, so Terry and I drove down there to his retirement party.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep up with him. He gave my son some places to go since we moved up here to Orange Park over like in Amelia Island and stuff like that where he could take his truck to go. So he was giving us a lot of places that my son could go when we first moved out here for him to take his truck out to and all that, boy stuff. So
that's nice of him. I know that Jose is like always takes his boat out and just Facebook lives it, but yeah, there's so much going on with every one of us doing our lives separately, doing our own thing, and it's nice to know that we can keep in touch and do this, even though it's a small group right now. Hopefully, I know that Beverly was supposed to join tonight with us all, but I guess it's gonna be a while. So
Jennifer was going to come on too, right?
Yeah, Jennifer, Becky. So She wanted to.
Tell my sister. Oh well. She'll be all right. She's kind of doing her own thing anyway. So there's a lady that lives across the street from me. She's a little younger than I am. I think she's like my sister's age. And we were talking, just one night in general, and got to talking about Rosie. And she actually was at Rosie also. She was, like I said, I think she's about Tegan's age. And she wasn't there for very long because her mom died. And they had to come back to the States or something like that. But like, she remembers Mr. Rashid. She remembers, a lot of that, but a lot of it, she said she's blocked out because it was just the timing in her life when her mom died and stuff. And she had to come back. But I thought it was kind of crazy because, you just don't, run into people that went to Rosie Rose. She's literally across the street from us.
And Mr. Rashid, the word slacker for all of us. And then Ricky rang with it. So it's like, the slacker was born, and now he calls everybody slacker when we were in class in school that time.
I don't remember Rashid. I don't know. I don't have Rashid was our homeroom teacher from 9th to 12th grade. I don't really have many, not really memories of that too much.
I just remember he's the one who told me I wasn't going to be an artist.
Yeah, he told me.
He told me that too.
And then when my grandmother, my granny, who is was a phenomenal artist, had drawn something, and I had it in my notebook. And he looked at it and he was like, "That's not, that's not very good." And I was like, "Dude, she gets paid lots of money for this stuff."
One time, I remember we were doing this charcoal drawing thing that we had to do in class, and I was trying to draw this picture or something. And he comes over and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm drawing this picture." And he's like, No, you're not." And I'm like, "Pretty sure I am." No, you're not doing it right. And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm not doing it right?" He's like, "You got to draw what's there." I'm like, "Here's the picture. Here's what I've drawn." He's like, "I don't know what you want me to do." He's like, "I want you to do it better." And I'm like, "Okay." Yeah,
he didn't have the most confidence in my drawing either. And I think it put kind of a stigma on me because my grandmother was so good and I could not live up to what she did. And I'm like, well, whatever.
I had Rashid for every season for track and field and cross country for 4 years.
We ran track and cross country together too.
Yeah, and he would ride the bus home with us sometimes because he lived in Luquillo. So I saw a lot of Rashid.
More than you wanted to.
Yeah, and then in art class, I think he would always try to, he was always very critical of everyone's work. And I think I was always trying to be a smart ass with him because I'm like, okay, come on, let me just draw.
Right.
He was kind of critical of everybody when it comes to drawing, even for me, even though I do consider him a art mentor in my eyes, but he's helped me draw further my drawing in some ways, but he's kind of an influence in my life when it comes to art.
I
remember just getting a C in his class every year and being like, I need a good grade for fine art. So I took beginning band and got an A. So
were you
do what you got to do, right?
Was that Mr. Wiener's class?
Yeah, that was Mr. Wiener's class.
Yeah, stop it, John. It was funny then.
I remember we in Mr. Wallace's class, we all did those haikus, and we were trying to outdo each other in that class.
Yep. Hey, I still to this day make puppy chow. When we did the speech class, when we had impromptu speech, and then we had in Rocky Road,
Hey,
Ricky and I
I make Rocky Road still. Come on.
We send pictures almost every year of hey, guess what I'm making?
Okay.
I'll remember to send you guys a picture next time I change a tire.
Okay. Shut up. Oh.
So how many kids does everyone have?
I have none. I'm not married at all. I'm living my dream of life. Just being a hermit.
Just Austin and Ashley.
Yeah, I got two girls.
No, your girls are phenomenal, though. I've kind of followed your journey with them, and
Thank you.
What are they
Yeah.
what are they up to now? What are they aspiring?
Well, my oldest, she's a freshman at Spelman College in Atlanta, but she's Zoom University from her bedroom. um, and that's, I guess it's going all right, as well as it can go, I guess, for a freshman in college. And then my seventh grader, they're doing online learning as well. She's an excellent student, but I see her face when I come down here, and this is not the way it's gonna go. Like, it's too much. Like, the kids are online the whole day, and she looks completely bored out of her mind. So I don't know. We're trying to do what we can to get them out and do stuff, but
Florida has just Governor DeSantis basically opened up phase 3 for the state. So I guess everybody's going back to doing what they're doing.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
North Carolina is kind of modified.
Now out here, like, our school systems are all, because we've got DC, Virginia, and Maryland, we're all kind of interconnected. Now, some schools in Virginia, I know a lot of private schools are open. And then some have some kids in school, some kids doing Zoom calls. I'm not sure about Maryland, but all of DC, everyone's online in DC. So I don't know.
We were at 100% online, and now they're doing 2 days a week in class, and half the class is 2 days. The other half's another 2 days, and Wednesday they clean up. And then elementary school, October 5th is going full-time in-house, back to school.
Okay.
But I got a elementary school and a middle schooler, so one will still be at home.
Good to hear. So
my daughter's in school, so she's much more of an introvert, like where Gabe and I are so much more extrovert. So she's not like that. And after having been home for like 5 months, she was like, I really need to go back, Mom, because I'm forgetting what it's like to like communicate with people. And I was like, whoa, okay, so we need to really get her back. And but she's in, it's good. We've not had any issues with it. She's doing so much better. I think for her it was more of a mental health thing to get back. But she's in 6th grade this year. So, she's a little bit bored right now. She's extremely smart. And I think right now they're just kind of playing catch up from everything that they missed last year, seeing where everyone's at. And then, and my son, so, he graduated high school back in 2017 and moved down to Florida with us and went to college. And now he's in the Air Force. So, and he's in Charleston kicking butt and taking names. Matter of fact, I think, John, he's starting classes. I think he called today and he's starting classes on the 1st.
Well, it's about time. We've been paying him to do a whole lot of nothing so far.
Well, he's doing his in processing. He said it's just taking him a long time. But no, but he's I think he's going to do really good. He's going to be working on
C-17s.
C-17s, yeah. We did everything together.
what is that?
That's it.
Is it Gabe? Do you hear Gabe?
Yeah.
Oh, they're watching football, and so you might hear them yelling at the TV some.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go inside. No, they we were just friends. I mean, I think we were good friends, and then what year was it, John? Was it like it was right after 9th grade that we ran into each other in Miami?
In Jacksonville?
Or no, in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So we had gone back to Jacksonville over that summer. My cousin had gotten into a bad accident and they didn't think he was going to live. So we flew back. And then one night we were sitting in Shoney's in Jacksonville and my sister was like, "That's Doug Platt," like super loud. And I'm like, "What?" And we saw John and all of them. And we were all able to get on a Mac flight back together. Did you get to fly the plane, John?
No, I don't remember.
Doug or you one got to go up there and fly it or something, like actually on there. But I think after that, like just hanging out and stuff like that on that whole flight, when we got back, we all just became really good friends and hung out.
It was whatever year Forrest Gump came out, because we had just gone to see it in the theater before we went there. So let's see. If only there was a device.
It's only Google.
I know. I'm marking it. Hold on.
Oh,
It was 94. It was 94.
94. So
Yeah.
yeah, so that was like ninth grade. Going in 10th grade. I didn't really date a lot in high school. I couldn't, dude. Everybody was scared of my dad.
Yep.
I mean,
I was scared of my mom personally.
Yeah, I was scared of you. I'm still scared of your mom.
So am I.
I'm still scared of my mom. Like, I don't even mess with my mom still. Nope.
I thought you and John were dating. I thought we're gonna date for a while during high school, those high school years.
Who? Me and John?
Yeah, John Platt.
No, we were just like best friends. We just
Martin passed away. Martin Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm talking about when we were. Oh no, Stephen Phillips was who passed away our freshman year. He was a senior that year. That had the accident down at the chapel where they were.
Yeah, where the chapel where they're building the new chapel.
But there was also somebody else. Oh no, it was his dad that passed away. Maybe it was Steve Rhodes' dad. Somebody that was diving and it was and broke his neck or something like that.
I know Martin and Ricky took me out for my last night in Puerto Rico, and it was just basically us just driving around, getting kicked out of the movie theater because we were going inside and out all the time. We went to see Iron Will. We didn't really finish the movie. I had to watch the movie years later to find out what happened at the end.
I don't think I ever finished it.
It's an okay movie.
Hey, I still keep in touch with Josh Crabb. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
And Devin, his son from
Barbie.
Yeah.
She passed away.
She passed away when he was born, our senior year.
Right out. Yeah. Right. Yeah. She never came home from the hospital.
No. But yeah, I'm still in touch with both of them. So.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, that was sad. What's his name? The military guy that was dating her, then Ski. I don't remember his name. I just remember that.
Yeah.
And then Greg, is it Greg that passed away recently?
Yeah, Greg
Voronich. Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that was pretty bad from what I understand. Mike Farber is the one that's like our age. Nick, I think, was his younger brother. Nick and him were very close. And
Nick always sends me messages on Facebook whenever I post something like I'm in Jacksonville eating at a Whataburger on my way to my mom's house. He goes, "Why did you tell me? I'd meet you there." All right, I'll tell you next time. Sorry.
I know Donald. When I went traveling to New Orleans, or was it? Or is it?
He's in Mississippi, right?
He has a bar somewhere, and I stopped in to just do a mini reunion with him and just shared stories with him. And he does own a bar, and he's been sober for a while, so
that's good.
That's what he said.
Is he he's in Gulfport, Mississippi?
Yeah, it's in Mississippi somewhere.
Yeah, Mississippi. That's what I was thinking about.
Stephanie Deal. So she lives in Middleburg, which is not far from me. I haven't seen her since we've been here. She got married. Yeah, she got married. She invited us to the wedding, but I mean, we literally had just moved here. We were getting unpacked. I didn't know my way around. I didn't,
I saw Stephanie. I was living in Philly. My husband was in grad school during that time, so I think, and it had to be around 2009, because Terry came up, and then Stephanie was in the area. I don't remember where Stephanie was living at the time, but we hung out all day. So that's really been. I saw her then since I left, school, and I haven't seen her since though.
That's
just following her on Facebook.
Who have you hung out the most, other than which classmates have you hung out the most since you bumping into them, or planning a mini reunion of sorts?
John and Ricky. Yeah. John and Ricky are the ones that I've kept up with the most, and
you and I bumped into each other at a Ryan Steakhouse.
Yep, in Pensacola.
Yeah, by accident.
That was on Sunday after church, and that's when your nephew was like really little.
Micah, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like over the years, actually like seeing and hanging out and stuff like that, John and his family,
Yeah.
And Ricky, his family.
When I was stationed in Washington, I was with Josh Crab a lot, and I became his best man at his wedding. That was interesting.
Yeah, for me, Terry and I, we were always close in high school, and we just kept that relationship. Freshman year in high school, I actually drove with my boyfriend at the time, but he's my husband now. We drove down to her house. This is when her and Joe Winslow were together. Wow. And she was pregnant with Jacob, and she actually gave birth while we were there during spring break. And she's been in every like important part of my life. You know, when Luisa was born, I was living in Puerto Rico at the time, and she flew down to see her. When we opened our art gallery, she was there for the opening. So we've always kept in touch. So she visits a lot. Janelle Vidal, I used to come back from college, and she was the person I was kicking it with during my holidays and summer breaks at home. And I would see Ian Melendez. I would see him a lot also when I was coming back home from college. But other than that, I think, Terry's been the one constant. Yeah.
I know that, I try to keep up with most of our classmates. So I know Jael is is pretty much out there doing her thing.
Yeah, she's out in Cali.
The character.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep up with everyone like via Facebook, so as far as there's a few, people that I stay in touch with, through Facebook, but physically I haven't really seen them.
I don't, yeah, this is a nice way to just try to connect with each other, Zoom, which we were trying to figure it out yesterday, and it was kind of iffy, but we got you guys, so hopefully more will show up. Hopefully, but the time being, we'll just kick it right now and just just talk with each other and just share as much as we can. So anything you want to share, or just I know I kind of hosted this thing. This was all kind of an initial idea from Joanne's idea, but then I just kicked it up and I just said, let's do a Zoom reunion for the 26th.
Yeah, made it happen.
So,
well, I'll be in Puerto Rico November 3rd. So maybe I don't know what the access is to go check out the base. I don't know. When I've gone home, I just haven't gone, out there. But
have you seen that they're doing some stuff there now? Have you seen that?
Yes, I saw the plans. Yes, I saw all of that. So I'm definitely gonna go check it out and see what I can do.
I cannot remember. Okay, so the picture that they had like a banner on it or whatever, the house next to it. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's the house we stayed in. So I messaged her, and as it turns out, it was. So they had a banner on the house, Ricky, that was John and Cherry Horton's house.
Oh.
So they moved, and when they moved, the two girls moved in. They were sisters that stayed with. So she had like really short hair, and the other one had like long hair.
Yeah, and they're in our class.
Yeah, they were. Yes, and like one of them, she looked kind of like Winona Judd almost. I mean, but she had like long, and I don't remember their names, but whatever this new company that's going in there, they have this banner. It's on that house though.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So which is great, because I always felt like ours was just like the perfect, because you looked at the back of our house and you could just see the entire island of Vieques there.
Well, my dad used to work with during his time there. He used to work with the because I have pictures of us on like a ship and heading to like a secluded island where we just basically have fun and playing around.
Vieques?
Yeah, or somewhere on a secluded island.
Well, thanks for inviting us, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No problem.
But when you're saying a ship, are you talking about a private yacht or like
like the military boats?
Oh, my dad probably drove that boat over there because I remember, I think my class trip was to Vieques and I don't know why I didn't go, but then my dad came back telling me all about what my friends were doing on the boat. And I'm like, really? Like, I didn't go, but you're telling me all about it. So yeah, they used to have, I forget what he used to drive him out there for, but yeah. Anytime I was out there, like, or, you know, he would tell me about my friends doing stuff over there. So.
Yeah, I don't think I ever went over there up by boat.
Mm-hmm.
You flew.
I flew over there.
John used to fly us. We flew to St. Thomas and stuff like that. John would fly, and then he would be like, one time he said, "Do you ever know what it would feel like to go down like into the ocean?" And he made the plane go down a little bit. That wasn't cool. And then he was like, "It's autopilot," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And plane doesn't have no autopilot. And I'm like sitting there and I'm just looking at him like, why is his hands not on the controllers? And he's like, oh, it's autopilot. And this little Cessna. Okay. But he used to get he would fly us over to St. Thomas for the day and stuff. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I always enjoyed because I'd be like walking out of class or something and Mr. Hal would be like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And I'd be like, I don't know. He's like, you want to fly me and the missus to St. Thomas? I'm like, well, I really got to study for that test on Monday. He's like, you'll be fine.
Oh, Mr. Howell. Yeah, we ran into him in Home Depot. Oh, no, Lowe's in Pensacola one time before his wife passed.
Mm.
So
Mr. Howell used to live, when we were having tests, Mr. Howell used to leave the answer key on the, I can say this now, but he used to leave his answer key right on his desk. And I'd be the representative just to go up there and just gaze up, just peek at what the thing and just like sit down, but go sit back down and then like pass along the information of what I.
And but Jason Vanas he was his aide and he would get the answer key and bring it out to us. Oh,
Really?
That was terrible. That's probably the most dishonest thing I ever did in high school. Was that was probably and I did lie to Mr. Howell one time. So yeah, I did. I lied to him and because I skipped first period because it was like chemistry was first and second period or whatever.
Yeah,
and I skipped the first right. I skipped the first one to go to the library to study for a test because my mom, who at the time was the music teacher at the elementary school, had a big program. And the night before, like when my mom had a program, we all had to be there. We all had to help set up. Like it was a big to-do for her. And we didn't get home until really late. And I had to study for that test and I wasn't ready. And they made me go to bed. They were like, nope, you have to go to bed. If you're not ready, you know, my mom's always thing was too bad, too sad or something like that. And I wasn't ready for the test. And I remember, you know, I lied to him. I don't remember what it was, but I did lie to him. And then of course he found out. And I cried because I felt like he was so disappointed in me. And then I ended up telling him why. And he's like, you should have just told me that. I would have understood, but I didn't.
I used to go to the nurse's office in the morning because I live in Rio Grande. That's, you know, where I'm from. And it would take, you know, the bus, I think, would pick us up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it was ridiculous. So I was just always tired, especially if, you know, if we had a meet that weekend, or, you know, just whatever. And so I would go and during first period, I'd ask to go to the nurse's office and I'd go and take a nap. But only during Mr. Howell's class. He's like, yeah, you want to go take a nap?
I think every student in that area between the Spanish classes where they built those areas for working on stuff working on individually by themselves in that room between those Spanish classes, took a nap in that room. So.
And yeah, I remember that over on I remember that little area now. Had glass.
Mm-hmm.
It had glass.
Yeah. It was like the independent study little area.
Yep. Yeah. I think we had a great high school experience. When I look at like what the kids go through now, I know when we came back from Puerto Rico, we got stationed in Key West and I went to college there. Mm-hmm. Man, I sailed through my first 2 years of college because it was stuff that we were doing in high school, you know, like and I just look at what the high school kids now and I look back and I'm like, yeah, we had a class of 36 or something like that when we graduated. 40. I'm like, shoot. we really had a good. I'm thankful for that experience. I'm glad I didn't experience like real high school because
yeah, I think we had a pretty solid education. I can say that, because I mean, all the AP classes that I took and, the physics and chemistry, all of that, because when I went to college, there were classes that, especially with the writing, the English classes, like our teacher would give us a whole week to write a paper. And I'm like, man, I used to have to write a whole 5-page paper in less than an hour in class.
Yep.
So like I literally would do my papers during lunchtime before class. So I could say we definitely had a solid education.
Yeah. Miss Costa and Miss White. I had Miss Costa more than I had Miss White. But between the two of them, and then of course Mr. Wallace too. But I mean,
Mr. Wallace, yeah.
Yeah, but Miss Costa and Mrs. White, like their writing, that was just.
Mr. Wallace had the research paper class. That one.
Yeah, I took that.
Yeah, how to write a research paper. I still have that.
Yeah, I love research paper on how to write a research paper.
Yeah, I still have it because I let my son use that when he was in high school because they didn't really teach them how to do that stuff. So I pulled out some of my stuff and.
Heck, back then we didn't have Google and everything to help us.
Yeah, encyclopedia.
And those encyclopedias.
Britannica.
Yeah.
We had World Encyclopedia. I still have those too. They're up in my attic.
I still have it in their house. So
yeah, my mom did too.
Did I lose you guys?
No,
I don't hear you.
Uh-oh.
I still see you.
What?
What?
Now I hear you.
I hear you.
Now I hear you.
Okay.
Dante, did you mute me?
Oh wow. Yeah. I know.
Zoom. That it's really funny. I teach my classes right now, my fitness classes on Zoom, and sometimes if it's I typically will connect to an Ethernet just to keep the because it's really hard to do. This is not made for like choreographed dance fitness. Like it doesn't always it lags. And it'll freeze up and you'll see everybody freezing up and all of a sudden it goes like super, super fast, like it's trying to catch up. It looks so funny. I cannot wait to get off of this platform of teaching my classes and get back into like in-person classes. It's just.
Yeah, I think everybody is sick and tired of being quarantined. And I know introverts are enjoying it. So, but the extroverts and other people are.
I need my mix of both. Right now, all I'm doing is sitting around and we started drinking a lot more because we were hanging out by the pool and we had the TV. Like we created this whole nice area and I'm just like, all right. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no. So trying to teach a class and I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta get back in shape before I start teaching my classes in person again. So, but it is what it is. So.
Yeah, I know my daughter, she signed up for, she's taking some type of an ensemble class, jazz ensemble or something. She said she wishes that she had never joined that class because it's lagging. You can't really play your instruments with the other students. So it's like a waste of, the precious time that she would have, actually gained something from if she was physically with all these, the other students.
Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's playing. So she's doing band this year and she chose the trumpet. And when the band director, he fitted her with it, he told us that she's a natural for that. The way, I don't know, because I never did band because my mom did the band stuff and I did not want to do what my mom wanted me to do. So she gave us a choice of dance or music. And I was like, I am doing dance. I am not you're not my teacher. I don't want you to, I didn't want any part of that. So, so the band thing is kind of new for me. But she's really enjoying it, but they do it in person. They get to meet in person, 2 days a week. And she's really enjoying it. So
that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. My youngest, she's still, she was taking private drum lessons, but now she's doing those over Zoom. But since it's just private, it works out okay.
Right.
With my oldest with her college classes, well, she does have her piano tech, and it works. So what she has her do is she records herself playing and then sends that, that feed to her teacher and then she evaluates it that way. And then she has the live classes as well. But yeah, that ensemble, I don't even know how they're really, doing that one.
Yeah. I'm just ready for things to kind of go back to something sort of normal.
And sort of come back to sort of normalcy. I know throughout all of this, I've been actually going to work and wearing a mask for the most part, and so far it's as a essential employee over at Eglin, I haven't I've experienced a lot of stuff going around with a lot of students being quarantined and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. So with everybody locked down for the most part.
Yeah, we didn't get to go to my son's when he graduated from being whatever. We didn't get to go to that, but when he got to Charleston, he said that he had to be quarantined in the Air Force Lodge.
Mm.
The guy was like, "Yeah, you can go do whatever you want to do. Just have your mask with you." I'm like, "That's not quarantine. Quarantine's like in your room."
No,
He's like, "Yeah."
he was quarantined from his coworkers. They don't give a crap if he gets it, but if he brings it to work, he's in trouble.
Well, he was living. He was like, he's like, I feel guilty. I'm like getting paid to stay in this nice room.
Whenever we're checking students for like Air Force students or any other students, especially Air Force students, they have to be quarantined for at least 14 days.
Yeah, that's what he had.
Yeah, and then they have to and they can only leave just to either get food, and that's it, and stay there for quarantine until their quarantine is up. So that's our protocol when at where I work at. So yeah, been there for 6 years now.
See, my brother's back on a ship, and he had to quarantine for 2 weeks before getting on the ship, and literally they would do room checks at the hotel where they were at. So they had to stay, but for him, he says like, yeah, because of his position, he's a chief, he had a nice suite, versus the other guys, but yeah, he did that until they got on the ship. So
what ship is he on, Karina?
I forgot which one it's called. It's the little one that it's the little one that's supposed to block. Oh God, it's called
a target. That's what we call it in the sub community.
Yeah, it's supposedly equipped with like the high tech ish, but it's the little one.
Where does he live? Where does he live?
Oh well, he was stationed in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's stationed in Hawaii. So I think the ship is moving to Washington in a couple of months, but he's out patrolling the free seas right now. I forget the name, but he told me which ship to follow if I wanted to know where his ship was at, but it's some huge ship.
He's probably in a carrier
group. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He told me I'd have to search through the text messages. But yeah, he'll be gone for quite a few months. But
we thought that this was going to be it for us, and now my husband, since he got promoted.
Yeah, my brother just got promoted.
Yeah, one of his guys who kind of helped play an integral part in that messaged both of us the other night and said we need to follow him wherever he's going to be XO, and we're like,
Louis, welcome.
He's like a Sigonella or Hawaii. I'm like, for real? Huh?
Sigonella.
Louis?
Sigonella? Yeah. We'll talk about that later. I just say, go ahead, retire. Let's just go to Iowa. I'm going to go to Iowa, John. I'm going out there.
All right. Come on.
Come on in and join the... Oh, well.
Nice floor.
Nice floor.
There he is.
There it is.
Oh, well.
And there he goes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to get off soon. I got one kid at her godmother's house that I gotta go pick up soon.
It was good chatting with you. With this whole pandemic thing going around, we can at least do the Zoom chat. So
yeah, thanks for orchestrating it and making it happen. So do appreciate it.
When we had the time for
that connection is unstable. I don't know what that is about, but.
What was that?
Today it sounded like the micro machine man there for a second. I don't know what was going on.
Yes.
That wasn't me. That was Karina. It sounded like Transformers to me. I was like, what was that?
You sounded like that to me.
It says my internet connection is unstable, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've been getting that message too, but
Okay. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get off. But it was great talking to everyone and catching up. And like I said, I mean, we should definitely do it again. I mean, we're all at home. Well, some of us are at home. But yeah, definitely if you do it again, tag me and I'll definitely log on.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good seeing you. Yep. And I'm
okay, take care. Bye.
Bye, Karina.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'm gonna head out too.
All right.
don't get too hammered.
Good. Yeah, good. No, not me. I don't do that anymore.
I did that a few weeks ago. That was a
Yeah,
mistake.
Gabe did it yesterday.
My body doesn't like it.
He celebrated on the river yesterday. He
Really?
was like, so I'll talk with you guys later on though.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Take it easy.
Louis, can you hear
What's
us?
up?
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear you.
What you up to, man?
Nothing much, man. Here in Puerto Rico, stepping outside a little bit. It's too hot.
Oh,
Still in Luquillo. Still living in Luquillo, Puerto Rico.
how's everything going down there?
It's going pretty good. We got a pretty mean. I guess the same thing as the States. Pretty much a lot of things are on lockdown because of the COVID-19, and we've had a lot of there's been a lot of spread of it lately. So the government's thinking of shutting down the island again. But my girls, my oldest daughter's in college already, but she's at home taking college through the internet, and my little one is in 8th grade, but she's also doing school. She's also doing school on the internet. So it's like everyone's home. I haven't been working since this started. So it's pretty much the hotel business is pretty much closed down. So hanging in there like everybody, just hoping everybody's safe and everybody's doing their part to try to keep our elderlies safe.
So what we've been doing is like sharing memories of the past hour, sharing memories of Roosey. What was your fondest, embarrassing, anything like that memory when you were there?
I don't know. I was one of the few who was at Roosey since kindergarten. My father was permanently stationed down here, so I was there. In high school, God, let me see, class of '92. I'm trying to think. I think, well, he's not on, but I think me and Stanley Turner and Brian Risser and maybe even Jason Acevedo, we were all kind of asses to always. I guess we got caught drunk at school once. That was pretty embarrassing by Minutelli. And but the fond memories go poof. I could tell you the splash hole. I could tell you Officers Beach. Just when we used to go hang out at the beach, and obviously it involved drinking. The bowling alley. That was always fond memories for me.
All right. So, what you've been up to? I know you've been quarantined for a while. Anything like interesting going on, family wise?
Well, someone just shot a flare. I don't know why. Family wise, I've been married for 20 years. Got 2 beautiful daughters. One's 18, one's 12. Mother passed away a few years ago. Still have my father with me. I run into Rashid every once in a while when he makes it back, because his house actually lived like 2 or 3 blocks from Mr. Rashid. So every time he comes back to Puerto Rico, I run into him, and but pretty much as everybody else, just trying to stay afloat. I know this COVID has been hard on everybody, and just trying to do good for our families. I guess nothing else. I guess nothing else matters when we're starting to get old ourselves. So it's kind of like making sure that our kids have everything maybe that we didn't have, or at least equal to what we were able to have.
Yeah. Yeah, we had fun times back then at the Roosey. On Roosey, did you get in trouble with any of the teachers back then?
Mr. Reen. Mr. Reen didn't like me too much. I don't know why. He always used to kick me out of his biology classes. And Mr. Caban, I got in trouble with Mr. Caban. He used to do some things. I mean, I told him to go where the sun doesn't shine, and those two teachers I always had trouble with. But besides that, I had a great time with teachers there and students.
Well, that's good to hear. I have really no idea what else to ask, but
hey, I got to bounce, buddy. It was good talking to all you guys.
Take it easy, John.
Yeah, we'll see you, buddy.
No, definitely. I just wanted. I saw the ad that you guys were going to do at Zoom.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to pop in myself just to say hi. Just to, if you guys are ever in Puerto Rico, I'm still around. Till God keeps me on this earth, I'm still around. So you guys got a friend down here always.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, so I'll be checking out for now, but I'll be definitely keeping on the page, and hopefully once all this is over, I told my daughters and my wife, once this is over, she's got a sister that lives in Orlando, so I'll be making my way up to Florida, and maybe we could do an impromptu or a get together in Jacksonville or wherever, but maybe we can get together once this is over. But I'll definitely keep in touch. But I just wanted to say. It was nice hearing from you guys, and stay safe.
You too, guys.
Okay, buddies.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go here soon too. I got to get some dinner.